I was watching your first video for Brentford for social media. You were saying it wasn't a difficult decision for you to leave Liverpool, that it was the right time. Why do you feel now is the right time in terms of what were the circumstances that was put into thought for you?
I just think the time was right for me to go be a number one. To play Premier League football week in week out was the right thing for me to do. It was the next step in my development, and I was at an age where I needed to go and play. So yeah, that's really why the decision was an easy one for me.
But I know you're not really meant to address any rumors, but I'm sure that were there other interested parties in previous times offering you that number one, and why that those decisions then didn't feel right at that moment?
Yeah, I think listen, obviously the decision was also around Liverpool as well. Um, they have control over me and also what I would do. So I don't think the decision was always in my hands as well. But it worked out that this summer that both parties were happy, and yeah, just it all fell into place this summer.
So it wasn't entirely in your hands if you wanted to make that decision to be number one then. All right. How different is it then now that you've experienced it? I know we're still very early on in the season in terms of the pressure, the expectations, the preparation. I mean, it's joy being number one, but again, you have to deal with the pressure as well. It's a bit of a double-edged sword.
Yeah, no, it's been really enjoyable. Obviously, I do like the pressure of playing week in week out. That's what I want. So yeah, it's been enjoyable. Obviously, you need to make the transition to the mindset that you're a number one and you're going to be playing every week. But yeah, I feel like I'm getting used to that already now, and like I say, a few games in already. So building that experience. But yeah, it's been really enjoyable, and I'm having a good time.
What's the perhaps the one thing you didn't expect, or maybe you expected differently now that you are number one in terms of, oh, okay, I didn't think it would feel this way.
I don't think there's been too much for me to be honest. Obviously, I've played a lot of games with Liverpool in the league. There's nothing new there for me that I don't expect from the league. I've played a lot in it, so I know about it. There's not really been much that's caught me off guard, to be honest.
Mm. Which I think it's fair because you have played a lot for Liverpool. I think people touted you as the best backup keeper. You play really regularly. But for most backup keepers, though, it's quite hard to see a path unless there's a major injury or some calamity happens, which, of course, you don't hope for your team. But how frustrating was that? And how do you feel you might, using that experience of frustration, try to help your second keeper to feel more at ease in your presence, I guess, in the team?
Yeah, I don't think it's. I never had a bad relationship with Alison at Liverpool in terms of that. I think that's just the nature of the position. I don't think me myself I'm in a position to really help that. I think it's just the nature of the game. With the number two, you're kind of waiting for an injury or stuff like that. So no, obviously it was frustrating for me at the time, but I just tried to train as hard as I could and be ready. Luckily, I had a lot of opportunities to play at Liverpool as well.
You said it's just part of the position, that's the reality. But did Ellison try to manage that with you, or did the manager try to put you at ease?
No, no, I don't think there's much you can do, to be honest. That's you're the second choice. You're not going to be playing week in week out. I think that's just you need to understand that. I think everyone needs to understand that, and then you just get on with it and train and try to be ready if you are needed. Like.
Mm. Right. I think your quality penalties are widely known, so I'm not going to ask you like all about those times again, but I'm curious what your approach to it is. Obviously, you don't have to spill too much of your secrets, but some keepers, just as an example, some keepers like to bounce and dance on the line, like to psych up the shooter, but you, I noticed, tend to stand very, very still until the final moment. I mean, how do you try to describe your approach to it?
Just tried to save it. Don't know. I just tried to stay still. Try look at the taker.
Why the choice to stand still? Is it just trying to keep focus?
Yeah, just make myself be ready and be able to react. Obviously, I know a lot of penalty takers nowadays. They look at the goalkeeper up until the last moment. So if you do make a movement, I think they can just put it to the other side quite easily. So think staying as long as you can and putting that pressure on the taker then is part of it.
So you're not into the whole psychological warfare in a penalty shootout.
Not too much. If needed, I think sometimes obviously it can be good in penalty shootouts maybe to put the pressure on players, but in the main I think I stay quite calm.
Right. Let's talk about Brentford this season then. Some pundits have touted Brentford to struggle, it being a transition year for many reasons. Can you set the record straight about Keith Andrews and the confidence that he brings to his side and the confidence maybe you guys have in him?
Yeah, I think obviously with me and as a group, I think we have a lot of confidence in him. I've known him as a coach for a long time, and I've always rated him really highly. And he's not changed since he's become the manager. He's still really keeping the good values of him as a person first and foremost, and then tactically he's been really good as well. So no, we have a lot of confidence in him. Obviously, it is a big change for the club in terms of the manager leaving and some players leaving as well. So it is takes some getting used to. But no, I think it's been a positive start now on the whole, and we're just looking to continue that.
How confident are the team that you won't be dragged into a relegation battle this season?
Yeah, I think pretty confident. Obviously, we've shown in the last few seasons we've been way above that, and I think we're looking to do the same again this year. But yeah, we need to let our football do the talking and let our results do the talking. So we're hoping to get another win on the weekend.
Right. With, as you know, Brentford's history of developing players and improving players, what areas of your game you're looking to improve this season and your goals of the season as well that you're maybe eyeing to improve?
I think obviously that as a team, I think we do need to be a bit more probably solid defensively and work on keeping it more clean sheets. Maybe I think that's definitely an improvement we need to make. So I think that would be the big one.
Can I ask you a question about growing up? Because obviously you're from Cork. Um, I think the school you went to, rugby and rowing were really popular. Your siblings and yourself went to direction of football. But in terms of the early influences in the game, when you think about players from Cork, you think about Roy Keane. So there's quite a bit of a Manchester United allegiance there versus your connection to Liverpool. I'm just curious, as a boy growing up in Cork, did you have a football idol growing up?
Um, yeah, I liked Wayne Rooney. Maybe. Obviously, I liked Roy Keane. Was obviously from Cork. He's a legend there, and obviously you see him. Obviously, he's Irish and playing for Manchester United. You obviously try to emulate that and stuff. And then as a boy, I really liked Wayne Rooney as a player. So he was probably my childhood one.
Yeah, I think you and many other young boys growing up in that era as well would have looked up to Wayne Rooney. Just a final one from me to just wrap things up. I actually wasn't planning on asking this question, but out of curiosity, it took me a while to get a grip of your name. I do apologize. I might have still be butchering it, but what's been the funniest pronunciation you've ever heard of your name?
I think if people look at it just from the letters, they say Caoimhin. So that makes me laugh.
Kiam, they actually spoke to you and called you by that name, and you're like, oh, what are you on about?
Yeah, plenty of times. Yeah.